Y'all know what time it is. Wheels and Tires Day. Let's get these bad boys unwrapped, shall we?
As you watch me open these wheels and tires, I just want to give a quick shout out to Trail Built Off-Road. We've been friends with a couple of folks there for a while, and they always treat us very well.
What's in the box? Let's find out. Ooh, little hint there. There you have it. Some Method wrapped in some Baja Boss from Mickey Thompson. These are gonna look real good on the truck.
So we're looking at some Mickey Thompson Baja Boss all-terrain tires. These tires are just over 35 inches tall. Technically, they are 305 by 70 R18, and the load range on them is E. The wheels are Method 701 HDs. Those are 18 by 9 with an 18mm offset. As I install these wheels and tires, I'm using an RV kit from SafeJack to make sure that I can safely lift this truck, since it is going to be taller and heavier than a standard factory truck. Overall, the install went easy, as you might expect. The only difficulty was getting some of those annoying copper retaining washers off of the lug studs that manufacturers put on there during the process of making the truck, but overall, really simple.
So the new wheels and tires have been on the truck for about 2.5 months now. But before I get into what we like about them, what we don't like about them, initial impressions and all that, I want to talk about why we switched in the first place. Because the wheels and tires that came on this truck were pretty nice. They were part of the Night Edition package, which means that they had 20-inch black wheels that looked really good, and then tires that were marketed as all-terrain tires. So why change in the first place? Why spend the money, go through the hassle, and for something that's, not that much bigger, doesn't look that much different? The reason is, one, these are true all-terrains. Those all-terrains that were on the truck from the factory, they weren't real all-terrains, and they had terrible traction. When I say terrible, I mean, we're currently living in Tennessee. When it's wet here, the ground is slick, it's got that clay to it, so you just don't get any traction when the ground is wet, especially in a big heavy truck with a lot of torque and nothing in the bed, right? Your rear end is light and you just get no traction. So we had instances where we couldn't even get out of our driveway without putting the truck in four-wheel drive because those factory tires just had terrible tread. So these are a true all-terrain. In fact, I would say that these are one of the more aggressive all-terrains, which means that they border on being a mud terrain, which means that they have plenty of tread, and they get us out of those slippery situations, even if it's just in the driveway, much easier and without tearing up the ground so much, right? So yes, it's about traction, but it's also about the terrain that you're on. You don't want to leave ruts everywhere just because your tires are spinning, right? Secondly, they're going to be far more durable than the factory tires. They have a more robust sidewall, they have much chunkier tread, and if you hit something with these, say even you pick up a small nail or something, we've had this happen with these tires actually specifically, you may not puncture all the way through the tire, you may not be stranded because you actually have a beefy sidewall, you have those chunky treads. And then the wheels themselves are a higher weight rating, they're don't add much weight to the actual truck itself, and overall, we just think they look better. This was our first chance to have Methods, and we've always liked Method race wheels, so we decided, hey, why not go for it since we're changing the tires anyway? So speaking of these Method racing wheels, why did we go with this model in particular? These are the 701 HDs, and as you might have guessed, the HD stands for heavy duty. What makes them heavy duty is their weight rating. So if you're familiar with aftermarket wheels, most of them, even the higher end models, top out around 36 to 3,800 pounds per wheel. These HDs from Method are rated for 4,500 pounds per wheel. So that is a significant jump up in weight rating. So they're designed specifically for your 1-ton trucks that are going to be towing or hauling heavy loads, whether that's campers or you're using your truck for work. And since we are outfitting this truck with a pretty hefty camper, we wanted more weight rating rather than less, even if we'll never come close to maxing these wheels out. Secondly, they have what Method calls bead grip technology. Coming from the Jeep world, we had bead locks on some of our Jeeps, which is essentially an outer ring that pinches the bead of the tire and allows you to air down to very low pressures when you are off-roading without breaking that bead and potentially losing a tire. Bead grip technology is designed to mimic a bead lock, but internally. Whether or not that's just a marketing gimmick or if it actually works, we don't know, but the wheel is different, and supposedly it can allow you to air down to lower pressures even with these bigger rigs and feel confident that you're not going to let all the air out of your tire by accident. As far as the tires go, I mentioned that we'd had these tires before. This is actually our third set of Mickey Thompson Baja Boss all-terrains, and we just like them that much. Reason being, one, they're super aggressive for an all-terrain, so they have incredible traction in every environment that we've ever tested them in, whether that's mud, rocks, sand, snow, we've done it all, and they've held up phenomenally. Secondly, we really like the beefy sidewall, so if you rub these up against rocks or, a fallen tree or whatever you might come across on a trail or a curb, if you're downtown and Hannah's driving, don't tell her I said that, you don't really have to worry about harming your sidewall because they're designed to take that kind of abuse. They have multiple plies, they have this aggressive grip, so we've never had sidewall issues with these tires either. And then thirdly, they are made in America, and that is a huge bonus for us. We try to support companies that make their products in the USA, and these particular tires in this particular size, I can't speak for the entire range of sizes or the entire product line of Mickey Thompson, but these particular tires are made in the USA. So they perform really well. They're made in the USA. We like the way they look. They seem to be very durable. And then the question that always gets asked is, are they super loud? We have had a set of these with around 40,000 miles on them, which for a tire this aggressive is not a small number. And you can tell the difference between these and your typical street tire. However, for being an all-terrain, for being this aggressive as a tire, they are relatively quiet. As I mentioned, we've now had these wheels and tires on this truck for around 2.5 months, so I feel confident giving you my initial impressions. So for the wheels, I think that they're incredibly high quality. From the moment that I unpacked them to now 2.5 months later, they just seem to be well made. Now, I can't speak to the actual manufacturing, but there's no leftover material from that process. The coating on them is even. Everything looks great. As far as the design, I think that the color looks really nice. I didn't clean them up for this. Probably should have, but we use this truck, so I'm just going to present it to you as is. The color looks phenomenal, whether it's clean or dirty. And the design is kind of that classic timeless style. So I feel confident that we won't look back at our decision to choose these wheels and wonder what we were thinking. I think that they will stand the test of time, and they're just that classic look that will always look good. As for the tires, I mentioned this is our third set, and they are as great as always. They perform really well in any environment, whether it's wet, dry, road, off-road, you name it, they're going to perform well. They're very durable. They last quite a long time for being an all-terrain tire. They're pretty quiet. Overall, we couldn't be happier, which is why we decided to go with these for the third time. We've had them on Jeeps, Super Duties with campers, and now this. And I wouldn't be surprised if when these wear out, we replace them with more of the same because we like them that much. So I can't speak highly enough about these tires. I highly recommend them. Having used multiple all-terrain and mud-terrain tires, these are by far my favorite, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them to anyone no matter the application. that about sums it up. These are our new wheels and tires, and so far we're very happy with them. I hope that you'll follow along as we continue to build out this camper, provide updates to the truck, to the camper itself, and then of course the adventures that we get up to once we move full-time into our new camper, which was supposed to be 2 months ago, but now we're hoping is within the month. If you made it this far, please go ahead and give it a like. That really helps the algorithm. And if you don't mind, subscribe as well. This is a new channel and we'd really like to see it grow and to continue to provide content like this to you. And then drop comments below if you have any thoughts on these wheels and tires, the wheels and tires that you swear by, and any advice that you have as we go forward with this full-time nomadic living in our soon-to-be completed camper. Until the next time, I'll see you later.